Alright, so here we are at the Copart lot. This is what I won for 15. Total cost came out to like $15.75. You can hear that noise. That noise is because this has a little more damage than I thought it did. So this is going to be interesting. Obviously the bumper is rubbing the tire right here. This has been pushed back. Not too much, but it's been pushed back. You can see the core support has damage right here. This whole header panel is damaged. The frame rail has a slight bend to it. I'm certain this can be fixed. It's just, I think this is going to be a little more work than I anticipated. But that's not the first time that's happened. Overall, you can see the fan shroud. Sorry, the fan shroud is hitting on one of the pulleys. So, at a minimum, we're going to need a hood, we're going to need a fender, we're going to need a bumper. I'm going to replace both headlight assemblies as a pair. We're going to need this whole grill slash header panel thing. We'll see if we can get away without putting a core support on it. Tires are good all the way around. I mean, I've seen better, but they're good tires. They're decent tires, without a doubt. We got the trailer hitch. We got a brand new spare. This has third row. The interior is actually really clean. It smells really good. We've got front and rear heat and air conditioning, leather all the way back, although I'm not sure how you're supposed to get into the back seats. I'll figure that out later. It does have the premium audio. The only seat that's not in good shape is the driver. Driver's seat is worn, but the interior is in just exceptional condition. I mean, in really, really good condition here. It has the sub in the back. We got lots of options here. No DVD player, unfortunately, but very clean truck. And I've already tested the four-wheel drive. Turn off this radio. Four-wheel drive works. Put into 2 high, 4 high, 4 low. Oh, you gotta have it in neutral, I guess. There we go. And then put it into drive. And you can feel that sucker kick into 4x4. We'll put it back into four-wheel drive auto. You can hear it click. Now over here we've got a brake light on. The brakes feel great, so I'm not sure why the brake light is on, but we have a brake light, we have an ABS light. ABS probably from a sensor. We got a few goodies in here. Not much. This is a very clean SUV, so while it's gonna need a little more work to the front end than what I was really hoping for, we'll get it done. You know, that's what we do here. We're gonna make this thing run, drive, and look good again. I'm gonna go tag it right now, and hopefully we can attempt to drive it home. Wish me luck on that. I'll have to catch a lift to the house. We got the tow haul button. I know, I probably overpaid a little bit for it, but that's okay. We got heated seats too. Look at that. High and low heated seats. Window works. Window works. Window works. Window works. No check engine light. OnStar. I love OnStar. What do you think? Well, interesting update. I pulled the parking brake release lever, even though the brake didn't seem to be engaged. I pulled the release lever, and all the lights went out. No more warning lights. Yay. All right, so we got the tag. Sorry, it's shaky. But we got the tags done. The title is reconstructed. It is legal to get this baby on the road. Now, is it smart? Probably not. But what are you going to do, right? I would tow it. I get to go pick up my trailer right now. So I would tow this thing, but unfortunately this thing weighs over 4,000 pounds. The trailer weighs almost 1,800 pounds. So, you know, that's well over the limit the Jeep is capable of pulling safely, and I'm not willing to risk damaging the Jeep. So we're just going to drive this home and then use the Jeep to pick up the trailer. All right, so we're rolling. Problem, look at the steering wheel. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, it's not driving messed up or anything, but that steering wheel is just, that's, yeah, I don't know. But we're rolling. That's all we can do, just take it slow and get it home. All right, so we're not going to waste any time. You know how we do when we get a new car, we got to tear into it. I've got some suspicions and some serious concerns about this one that may prevent me from doing a repair video on this. I want to show this to you guys anyway, because sometimes, especially when you bid on something sight unseen, you can get yourself in over your head. And although I love making videos, I'm not about to pour too much money into this thing only to find out that it's either not worth fixing to where I can't turn a profit, or even repaired, it's not going to be right or safe for the next owner. At which point, if it turns out to be that, we are going to sell it, resell it I should say, as is. It's a rare case when something like this happens to me, but I want to fix this if we can. But you know, again, if it's something that just, it's not going to work out, I will turn around, resell it. I'll try to make a little bit of a profit on it, and we'll go back and we'll buy another one. But my biggest concern is the suspension and the frame on this side. And we're not going to know too much more until we actually get these plastics off, get this bumper off. The wheel over here is actually bent in towards the fender, and it's pushed back towards the door. And when I climbed under it to try to get a visual, normally you can see a bent control arm or something. I don't see any bent control arms, so that really pushes me towards some frame issues that we just can't see. In that case, you know, hang it up. I do have a frame shop right across the street from me, a body shop. I could take it over there, they could straighten it out, so maybe it's worth getting a quote from them. But we're just gonna have to see. So instead of continuing to babble on, let's start taking this apart and see what we've got underneath the plastics and stuff. All right, so we've pulled quite a few parts off to get a better understanding as to what's going on with this thing. And here's what we're left with. Now, you'll never hear me say that I am a body or frame guy. I'm more of a mechanical guy that likes to dabble in body work. But here is one of the frame rails right here, okay? You can see obviously this took a hit. Obviously it's somewhat bent out of shape. And when you get underneath where the hook is, you can definitely see it's taken a little bit of a hit, but nothing too serious. All right, what I can see is that where this bolt goes, right here, this could be bent straight. This one down here could also be straightened out. That one is straight, and this one probably needs some minor adjustment, but nothing major. This frame rail looks like it's okay. Now here's one of the things that confuses me, is look at this body mount right here. And see how high that side sits? And come over here to this body mount, and look how low this side sits. Now why is that? I honestly don't know, because everything over here looks good. Core support, everything looks straight. Now we see that we have some damage when we start getting over here. Little crunch there, another crunch here, but it doesn't look like anything significant. We're crunched here. We've got a bend here. But if you come over here, you see we took what looks like a pretty good impact here. If I didn't know better, I'd say the tire crunched into the fender. And for the tire to go that high up, man, that's a heavy hit. Now you can't tell by looking at the rim. The tire's fine, except for where I drove it home and ate up this part because it was rubbing against the bumper. You can go in here and look at the frame rail, and the frame rail looks fine as far as I can see. Now, what I do know is that this wheel is pushed way back over here, almost all the way into the fender, and the top of the wheel is pushed back towards the engine bay. Now, what I don't know is what is causing this. I mean, normally I would be looking at control arms, which this one has two, and it could be definitely a control arm issue. So here's the upper control arm, or A-arm, and I don't know about you, but that doesn't look bent to me. Not at all. The same thing with the lower control arm. I don't see any damage. And we can go under and pan around. Do you guys see something that I'm missing? Because but if you look right here, this is a hell of a sign. This is your sway bar link. This has been moved. You can tell this has been moved to the point that it's damaging it. I'm wondering if maybe I just can't see it, but the frame has been pushed back right here where the control arm mounts to the frame. But I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think we'd see a lot more damage than that for it to move the wheel that far back. And replacing these control arms are kind of a pain in the ass. So, you know, I don't want to jump into replacing control arms if that's not the problem. Another thing that I noticed is this crunch right here. Right here where this sharp crunch is. It's hard to see because the light keeps changing on me. But right here, this ledge, we have a sharp ledge right here. This is a crunch. So this almost is going to have to, because I'm not sure if this is just the inner fender that you can unbolt and replace, or if this is part of the truck itself that's going to have to be straightened. I don't know. If it's the inner fender, we can just replace it. If it's part of the truck, we're going to have something pulled here. But, goodness gracious. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's a nice looking truck, SUV, whatever. And it could be put back together relatively cheaply. There's my trailer. But I just don't know. I don't know about all that. When you're talking about suspension damage, I mean, look, hopefully you can see it at this angle. Like, look down there. It's just, everything is just all kinds of off with it. Now, I could probably list this thing right now for a couple grand and sell it like it is and be done with it. Maybe make a couple $100, a few $100. It's a good runner. Tranny shifts great. 4x4 works fine. I just don't know about this. So any of you body guys out there, any professionals, anybody works on frames, anything like that, if any of you have any insight for me from what I've shown you here today, and I know it's not much, I really need to pull this off to give you a clear picture. I need to pull the electronic center, unbolt it, pull the battery, and maybe we'll do that another day. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. I know that we have damage in here on this piece of metal, and I don't know if that's just part of the inner fender or if that's actually a structural part of the vehicle that would have to be straightened. So comment, tell me what you think. She's a beast. She is, I'm telling you. I had it on the road, man, and it had no problem getting up and going. None at all. But I don't know if this is one I can fix. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Please do me a favor and like this video. You know, I get my hands dirty for you guys here. Like the video, comment below, tell me what you think. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.